Oh, all right. Thank you, Polly. Good to see you.
Good. You too. Thank you very much for joining us and for taking time out of your busy schedule. I would very much like to start off by asking you to outline for those who don't know something about Lives of Colour.
Well, thank you very much, Polly, for inviting me to come and have a chat with Stroud against racism. And Lives of Colour, we launched Lives of Colour 2 years ago, and we work to elevate the voices of marginalized communities. And our work is within the grades inclusion strategy, which is at the core of the principles that we work with to sort of ensure that, grade for us means gender, religion, age, ethnicity, sexuality and sexual orientation, and we also include people who have, economics, because what somebody's an economic background does affect their livelihood. So through grades, we do education, through training programs, we do events, and we connect people with organizations, sort of signposting from people reach out to us, and then we signpost them to other organizations that would probably support them one way or the other, because you find that most people from the marginalized community sort of tend to lack information, and having that support system whereby somebody helps you along the way without having fear, we find helps people with knowledge, with information, all these things, just to ensure that the community is supported in the right way. So that is what we do.
Thank you.
How do we do it? What are sort of the things that we do? And for this is the 7th year that we are hosting Black History Month, Gloucestershire. So I'm really looking forward, the opportunity to work with Stroud Against Racism to do events in Stroud, because it was fantastic when we met last week and agreed a partnership. So looking forward to all the things that we're going to do in this partnership, Polly, and can't wait to meet everybody in the team. So it's been exciting times, and you've been doing wonderful work out there. And one of the perception that, sometimes people forget is that, yes, we're talking about Black Lives Matter, but, as allies, it is to be everybody working together. It's all our lives. We need to work together as humans to ensure that, all voices are heard. And I'm really, really, happy that I'm able to work with you, Polly, and we've agreed a mentoring program that we'll be meeting once a month, and, to work together so that, we make sure that the message that we put out there and everything that we're doing within the communities in Gloucestershire is what is right for the community and right for everything that we do, that we are impactful to create real change.
Well, thank you so much. And thank you for mentioning the mentorship, because it's something that's terribly, terribly important to us as well. The reason I really wanted to get you here, and I'm gonna take myself off the screen now because I want to focus on you, is I really wanted to hear you talk about the book club that you have going and that's in local schools at the moment. So if you could explain that to people, that would be great. Thank you.
Okay, we launched Authors of Color. I'm really, really, really happy to talk about Authors of Color Book Club for schools, and it's book club for schools and book club for parents can subscribe to this service as well. This has been a 2 years work that I've worked to curate a list of books for schools that schools can subscribe in order to ensure that schools have an inclusive books. This journey started when I was hosting events for Black History Month, and parents would come and ask me and say, where do we buy books that are relatable or inclusive? And personally, I didn't realize that's an issue, having grown up in Kenya. And having had kids, I would just go and buy books from the bookshop, not really thinking about what kids are reading. I personally read Enid Blyton when I was growing up in Kenya. And so me reading widely, I never ever thought that this idea of, kids reading books in schools would be an issue at all. But it's only until I started speaking to some young people who were at universities and had left school, and I spoke to them researching how best to ensure that we do what is out there. And the young people coming back to me and saying, at school there was nothing relatable to me, including the books. All the books and stories that we had, we have in our school, was not representative of us. So from that, I decided to look into further and say, okay, so what research is out there? And I was really, look at the SILIP, which is a schools Kwango, had done research on in 2017, and only 1% of books that were published in 2017 for children in the UK had a person of color as a protagonist. But as Lives of Color, we don't just look about ethnicity. It's about disability. It's about religion. It's about sexuality. What else is out there? Our book club, we wanted to create something special that caters for all age groups, and they're age appropriate for each and every child. We've got a collection of books from year 1 to year 10. And this is to ensure that the idea of difference, kids learn in a way that they can step by step understand without being preached up, so that the idea of difference doesn't come in this or them and us situation. If we have books that are representative of what our society is, it's that makes that, difference is not an issue. Everybody is just normal. And to find that there was not enough books in schools that are representative of what our today's society, global world is, I felt that was a bit worrying. And yes, we've got, librarians in schools, we've got educators in schools, but what resources, what time do they have to be able to go out there and, scour all the publishers, to find this is the right book, this will work. So it needed an organization to come in and curate it so that it's ready there for the schools to, just, pick up the phone and subscribe. So we launched this earlier on in March. Yes, not a great time I'll agree, not a great time at all to launch anything, but it's ready to go. If for any schools, we've even got hashtag nudge for diverse books. So if you go to the Lives of Color website, you'll got the letter ready. All you need is to click the letter and send to your school. This is any school. Within the book club as well, one of the things that we found is that some schools might think, oh, how are we going to be able to afford this subscription? And we did some work and found that the Foyle Foundation will, depending with the school, if you're a state school, the Foyle Foundation will support the school to buy new books. So we've also got that information there. All you need to do is click on the link and it takes you straight to the website and which gives you the information on how to apply for the funding for your school. And for parents, all you have to do is subscribe on the website and you'll be able to get 2 books a month, and the price is £20 a month, 2 books a month. Different books. I will ensure that the age is right. Is sort of a bespoke service for the parents. So if you're a grandmother, you can still buy the books for your grandchildren. If you're an auntie, if you're an uncle, it's all there for you to be able to ensure that we bring up a generation of kids who think of the world in a different way from what, where we are now. Black Lives Matter, it shouldn't be Black Lives Matter, it should be Human Lives Matter, because we are all human. We all want to live in a society whereby we hold each other's hand without them and our situation. And for me, working with Stroud Against Racism is such a good opportunity to be able to do this and to ensure that we work in an environment whereby we are all relatable, we are all represented, we are all the people that we need to be for our children, for our society, so that nobody ever has to feel that they're different or their skin color matters or their religion then makes them different. That's not the world we want to live in. So we have our wonderful book club. Go to livesofcolor.co.uk on Authors of Color Book Club, and you'll be able to find all the information that you need, either to email your school, to subscribe yourself, and for the schools to subscribe, and then we'll be able to send the books to the school that is, the school that subscribes. So all you need to do, remember, livesofcolor.co.uk, and this Authors of Color Book Club. You have the inclusive books that caters for gender, religion, age, disability, ethnicity, sexuality, and also include economics. If you are, from whatever background you are, we're able to cater for all these stories so that they can be shared in a way that embraces everybody else's life. So Authors of Color Book Club, and that is on livesofcolor.co.uk. That is the information. If you've got any queries, or you can register for our newsletter, which is a fantastic Burst of Color newsletter, and just find out some more information on what work we do within Lives of Color. Thank you very much, Polly, for giving me this opportunity, and I'm really looking forward to be working with Stroud Against Racism and our monthly meetings, as we've just, we sorted out. And I think it's a great opportunity for Gloucestershire, it's a great opportunity for Lives of Color, and it's a great opportunity for Stroud Against Racism. Thank you.
I would have to completely agree with you. It is a fantastic opportunity for us at Stroud Against Racism, having you on side, because you started, when did you start, in 2013?
Oh, it started 2013 when we started connecting with organizations, connecting with communities. So we've been going on for a very long time. It's a subject that we've been dealing with. And for me, this offers us opportunity. One of the things I remember, telling you is that after the BLM events that happen all over the world, it's offered us an opportunity to talk about racism freely without having fear. Before it was, it doesn't exist here, it doesn't exist there. But now people really engage with the conversation that it happens, and we need to do something about it.
That's right. And from my part, personally, with my work at Stroud Against Racism, I'm very grateful to have you on side, because you've been through all the processes that I had been struggling with, and I found your advice enormously helpful. If you wouldn't mind, I know that we really want to talk about the book club today, and that's something that I will be standing outside the subscription rooms tomorrow, ready to give people more information on, and get some email addresses if people, want us to send them information as well. But I know you're doing some really wonderful things in the art world, and I wondered if you could talk about that as well.
Oh, the exhibition.
Yeah. It's so cool.
We did an exhibition. That was an exhibition we started it in 2018, and we had an exhibition in Cheltenham Town Hall. That is last year. It also is a curation of, we had 10 people from the African diaspora who had lived in Cheltenham since the 90s. And then we had 10 people from the Windrush generation who had come, to Gloucester since the 50s. and sharing their experiences. That was an amazing, amazing project to do, because just listening to how, even though it's been so many years apart, some of the experiences really similar, but the beauty of the whole thing was that when we then opened the exhibition, I was just doing the report, of how many people actually had seen the images. It was just mind blowing, because just the total, that was over 10,000 people had seen it, either in Cheltenham. I mean, when we exhibited at Gloucester Museum, this is under 2 weeks, just under two weeks of the exhibition opening. They had about, over at least 1,000 people had visited the museum. And for me, the most impactful thing about it is that some people had lived in Gloucester but had never gone to the museum all their lives, and it opened up the spaces within Gloucester, for the community to relate to that. So sometimes we need to think about spaces and what they mean to everyone, so that if we are all represented in these spaces, then we just become a one whole, one world, and that's what it needs to be. So I'm quite excited about the exhibition when we can get our hands on it, and there's some exciting news to build onto the exhibition, and looking forward to showing it in Stroud. That would be a wonderful thing to do. And I know you mentioned something about it when we met last time. So yes, that would be amazing.
Well, it's such a fantastic exhibition. It would be a wonderful opportunity for Stroud to be able to host it. I think that's a really exciting opportunity as well. And there's so many things that you're doing, but those are the two that I think that I wanted to focus on today. That's fantastic. Thank you so much for your time today, and thank you for joining us today. And yeah, have a lovely day, and enjoy your time off. And thank you for taking time out of your time off to come and talk to me.
Really a pleasure, and thanks for the partnership. I'm really looking forward to this. So we can do great things together. I think, I'm really, really looking forward to this. Yeah.
Here's to the future.
Thank you. Thank you.
Take care.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye, Flo.
Bye. Bye. Bye.